Howdy all, lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at the delightful and evil solo from Eye of the Beholder by Metallica. Let's take a look. Alright guys, so let's have a look at the first section. It is a bit of a lengthy doozy, but we'll go through this at a gentleman's pace and we'll divide it up into 6 little chunks. So we're going to start off with this. So what I'm doing there is I'm starting from 6 of the second string, and then I've got a hammer-on into a pull-off going 5, 6, 5, and then I jump to 7 of the third string. So we've got, at the end of that, I'm playing 8 of the second string. So all together, then I work into this phrase. So I'm going to play that 6 again on the second string, do the hammer on into a pull off, but this time I'm going to play 7, 5 on the third string. This is what we should have from the start thus far. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to do the starting little lick again. And at the end of that, I'm going to add 7, 5. So we should have 3 mini chunks in this first bit. I'll play it slowly. And that's the first group. The second group's going to be exactly the same, but instead of having a rest on the first bar and going 1, we're actually going to play a note on that first beat, which is going to be 7 of the third string. So it's going to be exactly the same, but I start with this little note here. So it's going to go like this. So it's basically the same thing twice. I'm just leaving a rest on the first group and putting in that 7 on the third string at the start of the second. I'll play those both back to back. As you can see, it's quite similar. Then I go to the slight key change chord thing here, where it goes into this. So we'll go through that slowly. I'm starting from 7 of the fourth string. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play 5 of the third and then do a hammer-on pull-off, much the same as what we had in the first section, but I'm going to go 4, 5, 4 here. At the end of that, I'm going to jump back up to 7 of the fourth string. And then from that point, I'm going to jump to 5 of the second string. So we've got... Then from that point, I'm going to play that little hammer-on pull-off idea again. I'm going to play 5 and the quick hammer-on. At the end of that, I'm going to play 7 to 5 on the fourth string. So let's go from this key change in the chords. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I work into this phrase. So it's basically exactly the same thing that we had in the last phrase, except instead of ending on 5 of the fourth string, I'm ending on 5 of the second. So I'll play those back to back. So let's go right from the start of the newest chunk now. At the end of this, we've got a couple of extra notes, which I think creates a bit of a 5/4 bar. So it almost sounds like there's too many notes here. So all I'm doing here is doing a pull off from 5 to 4 on the third string, jumping to 7 of the fourth, and then doing a pull off from 5 to 4 on the third string again, and jumping to 5 of the fourth, and that's going to sound like this. So we'll go from the newest chunk. Now I'm pretty much going to do exactly the same thing, but we're going to leave out the 5/4 bar at the end. So the start's going to be the same. At the end of this though, instead of doing both of those 3-note ends, I'm just going to do the pull off into the 5 of the fourth string. And that's going to be the end of the fourth chunk. So I'll play the fourth chunk. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the third and the fourth group together, and then we'll do all 4 chunks that we've got so far, and there's 2 more at the end of it. So we'll go from here now. Hopefully that's all making sense. We'll go right back to the start of the section and add the last 2 little bits to it. So starting with the rest. Hopefully that's all making sense. Now we're going to borrow the second phrase that we had, starting from 7 of the 3rd string, and play that exactly the same. So it's exactly the same as this second bar. And then the last group we do is going to start off quite similarly to the second as well, but we're going to have a different end. So we're going to go like this. Now after that point, I'm going to do exactly the same phrase twice. So I'm going to play 6 of the 2nd string, hammer on, pull off, and then play 7/5, and repeat that phrase twice. And at the end of that, we're going to borrow the ending of the third group, which was this. So I'm going to do this little phrase twice, and then I'm going to play 5/4 on the 3rd string, 7 of the 4th, 5/4 on the 3rd string, 5 of the 4th. So it's going to go like this. And that'll be all of the first section. So I want to do the 5th and the 6th group, and then we'll do all of it from the start, and then we'll do it even slower with some tabs. All right, one more time from the start, nice and slow, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. And thank you for being patient with me. This is quite a doozy. So right from the start. Whew. One more time with some tabs. Alright guys, let's have a look at the second section. We're going to start off with this cheeky little whammy thing. I'm going to play 2, 5, 8, 11, and I'm going to add in a cheeky little whammy on there. It's going to have a bit of a diminished effect. Very, very fun. And then I go. So I got 2 bends from 21 of the 3rd string. After that, I work into this phrase, which is relatively simple. Let's slow that down. I've got a tone and a half bend from 22, and I want to do 2 of these in a row on the 1st string. At the end of that, I'm doing a hammer on pull off going 19 to 22, and then pulling off back to 19. And then that slides to 18th fret. At the end of that, a very similar phrase. I'm doing a hammer on going 18, 19, 18 again, and then sliding to 15. So we've got, at the end of that, to finish off the section, I'm playing 15, 18, 15 on the 1st string, and then sliding back to 14. So let's go from those big bends from 22. I know this has been a relatively quick section, but we'll go from the 22 bends, put all those slidey hammer-ons together, and we'll take it right back to the start, and then do it again even slower with some tabs. Hopefully that's all making sense. Let's go right back to the start. One more time with some tabs. Alright guys, last section is going to start off with this little phrase. It is quite blackendy. Alright, so I'm going to start off with a hammer-on pull-off going 14, 15, 14 on the first string. Then I jump to 17 of the second and back down to 14 of the first. At the end of that, I work into this descending phrase. I'm just going down the scale diatonically. I'm playing 17, 15, 14 on the second string, and then jumping to 16 of the third. So altogether we should have this. After that, I work into this pretty simple phrase 4 times. It's exactly the same thing 4 times. I'm going to do a pull off from 15 to 14 on the second string, and then play 16, 15, 16 on the third. We're going to repeat that 4 times. Let's go right back to the start of the section, look at what we've got thus far, and then add the second half to it. Hopefully that's all making sense. The start of this next phrase is very, very blackendy. You can hear it there, so blackened. Anyway, the start of that, I'm doing a hammer-on pull-off going 15, 14, back to 15 again on the second string. So 14, 15, 14, my bad. Hammer-on pull-off, 14, 15, 14, then jumping to 16 of the third. Then it goes. What I'm doing there is just working up the scale, 14, 15, 17 on the second, and then I want to play 14, 15 of the first string. So we've got, and we've got at the end of that. So let's take that slowly. I'm doing a hammer-on pull-off, 14, 15, 14 on the first string this time, jumping to 17 of the second. At the end of that, I'm playing 14, 15 of the first string, and then 18 3 times on the first. So altogether, at the end of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm playing just this little group of pulled off legato notes, 19, 18, 15 of the first string 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll go from the second half of this section thus far. At the end of that, I do sort of an in and out dive with a harmonic from 5 of the second and the third string. Very, very fun to do. So let's go right back to the start of the section. That's the whole thing, by the way. We'll go right back to the start of the section and then do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the solo from Eye of the Beholder by Metallica. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and please check out the links in the description box to my Udemy modal course, as well as my Learn That Solo fan page on Facebook and my Patreon. Catch you guys all very soon.